Hi everyone, I am Daniela Fernandez. I am a recent graduate from the Darden MBA and I'm here with Matthew, who I will be interviewing today.
Hi, I'm Matthew Calvert. I am a BCG alum and currently a Director of Methane Results at Kairos Aerospace.
Okay, Matthew, well, walk me through your resume.
Absolutely. Well, Danielle, I'm very excited to be here and thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I'm going to be answering this question, given the answer when I was interviewing for consulting, just given the context.
Perfect.
So I'm originally from Los Angeles, California, and then I went to Vanderbilt University for college. And while I was at Vanderbilt, I did a volunteer teaching experience while studying abroad. And I loved that experience. I knew that I grew up with a wonderful education and I wanted the opportunity to give back. So upon graduating, I did Teach for America, where I taught elementary school in Chicago for 2 years. I was a third grade teacher, which means I had a self-contained classroom. I taught all subjects. And I absolutely loved that experience. I loved working with students and their families, building really close relationships. But after my 2 year commitment was up, I realized that I didn't want to just work on issues that were impacting a classroom of students. I wanted to work on issues that were impacting a city or a state or even the country. And so I went and I did the next thing that I worked on was I worked on a venture philanthropy nonprofit in Chicago, which was focused on ending the cycle of poverty. And it was a wonderful experience. It was a very small organization, and so had a lot of responsibility. But what I realized from that experience was that being in such a small organization, there wasn't a ton of room to grow. And so, as the operations coordinator there, I had a lot of responsibility and interacted a lot with our grantees and with our investment partners. But I knew that I wanted to do something more entrepreneurial that had a little bit more growth next. So I went from that opportunity, and then I went and co-founded my own startup called Clutch Sports. And Clutch was an on-demand pickup sports app, and we were trying to solve the problem for young working professionals, such as consultants who wanted to find a competitive basketball game, soccer game, uh, but didn't really have control of their own schedule, while also connecting them with uh, gyms and schools that had facilities that went unused a great deal of the time. At Clutch, I was the COO, and in such a small organization, I meant I did sort of everything on a day-to-day basis. I helped manage our technology team, I helped with marketing, I helped with sales. And after doing that for a little bit more than a year, I realized I was a bit in over my head. I needed to gain more experience in business. And that led me ultimately to go back to Duke, where I did a dual master's in public policy and MBA. The MPP allowed me to further the education and sort of the experiences that I saw in the classroom and while working at Social Venture Partners in a nonprofit. And then MBA also gave me some of the hard skills that I felt like I was lacking while I was working at Clutch. So at the end of my 3 years at Duke, I ultimately interviewed for consulting and wanted to work at BCG because I felt like it would help me get up to speed and really continue to get more reps in business where I could see different industries and different functional areas. And that's why I felt like consulting was the best next step for me.
Perfect. Well, I really like how you connected the dots and explained how you took one decision that took you to the other. So that was awesome. How would you change that, or how would you change your answer depending on a different industry?
Absolutely. So when I was leaving BCG a year ago, I started to think about sort of two areas. One was education, and the other one was sustainability.
Mm.
And so when I was looking at ed tech and education sort of related ventures, I really focused on my Teach for America experience as well as some of the projects um, and activities I got involved with during my master's in public policy, which really focused a lot on education and domestic poverty issues. Um, on the flip side, when I was looking at sustainability focused companies, I focused on some of the projects that I did at BCG, which were sustainability focused in terms of electric vehicles, battery technology, supply chain optimization, things like that. And so it's really just thinking about what the role in the industry is and connecting your experiences to that. And I think, coming from consulting, you can sort of spin projects and either focus on the functional area or the industry you worked in. And the other thing I like to think about in research is, who am I interviewing with? Is there a piece of my resume or my background that I can highlight that I think will connect with them, that can really be a differentiator?
Yeah, that's a great answer. It's how you distill your experiences according to each different industry. And the last questions that I have for you is, how would you answer it differently from tell me about yourself?
That's a great question. I My answers are fairly similar. I would always add more personal details and a little bit more of my personality when I'm doing the tell me about yourself. But I always try to leave a little couple nuggets, where I'm from, where I went to school, things like that,
Yeah.
in walk me through your resume, with the hopes that it can spark a casual conversation and build a connection with the interviewer, such as I grew up there, I went to school there, something like that. Because I think if you do build those personal connections, it sets you really apart in the interview process.
Yeah, that's right. Well, thank you very much, Matthew.
Thank you.